Experts and the review of the facts, the inclement weather, the time frames, and their age, the likelihood that they're alive right now is very low.
Breaks my heart.
On July 10, 2025, more than 2 months since Lilly and Jack Sullivan vanished without a trace, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police made their first major public address in weeks. No theatrics. No new names. No arrests. But a sentence, buried halfway through the press briefing, stopped everything. We are still analyzing data collected from digital devices associated with the household and individuals close to the children. And then, just as quickly, they moved on. What's in that data? They didn't say. But insiders, speaking to CBC News and CTV, hinted that some of it may involve time-stamped messages exchanged between adults in the house, before May 2nd. The timing matters. The implication matters more. Because if those messages contradict the original timeline, then everything we thought we knew about the morning the kids went missing, could unravel. But the RCMP wasn't done. They reaffirmed their previous position. There is currently no evidence to suggest that Lilly and Jack were abducted. And yet, they also stated, all avenues remain open. So what does that mean? If there's no confirmed abduction, and no confirmed accident, then what is the working theory? That part remains unsaid. But a single phrase in the RCMP's statement may hold the key. They described the case not just as an active investigation, but as a multi-unit collaboration. Among the divisions involved: Digital Forensic Services, Major Crime Unit, Truth Verification Section. This isn't standard procedure for missing persons. Not after 70 days. Not without signs of life. And definitely not without suspicion. The implication is clear: whatever is buried in that forensic data, RCMP believes it could reshape the case. Before we move forward with this big update, please take a moment to comment below with the city you're watching from. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel to help us reach our first 5,000 subscribers. For exclusives and other cool perks, you can join the channel, link is in the description. Share the video with others. Stories like this must be heard, so we can help prevent future tragedies. Be safe, thank you. May 2nd, 2025. Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia. 2 children, just 6 and 4 years old, reported missing from their home around 10 a.m. Lilly Sullivan, Jack Sullivan, gone, without a single witness. No cries. No sounds of footsteps. Not even the soft slide of a door opening. Just quiet. Then panic. By noon, RCMP had sealed off the property. A massive search began: ground teams, helicopters, drones, K9 units, covering acres of forest and thick brush. But there was nothing. No trail. No items left behind. No sign they were ever there at all. Except for one thing: a child's boot print. Found near a pipeline trail off Gairloch Road. Too far from the house to be explained. And no way to confirm if it was even theirs. The parents told police the kids might have slipped out quietly. Through a sliding door they say doesn't make a sound. It faces deep forest. No neighbors nearby. No surveillance. Lilly had been sick. She hadn't been to school in days. Jack, too, kept home. Both were last seen alive the morning of May 2 ND, according to the adults in the house. But the RCMP later confirmed. Lilly and Jack were seen in public the afternoon before, on May 1st. Where that sighting happened, and with whom, hasn't been released. By May 7th, just 5 days later, the full-scale search was scaled back. No sign of a struggle. No trace of an abduction. No evidence of an accident. Nothing. At 9 a.m. on May 2nd, 2025, it was just another quiet morning in rural Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia. A secluded home on Gairloch Road. 2 children reportedly at home, recovering from a minor illness. A mother, resting. A stepfather, in the bedroom. And what appeared to be an ordinary day. According to their mother, Malihia Brooks Murray, 6-year-old Lily came into the bedroom once, then again a few minutes later. Jack, just 4 years old, could be heard rustling in the kitchen, mumbling, moving. The sounds of toddlers familiar with the space around them. But by 9:30 a.m., the house had gone quiet. Not gradually. Not suspiciously. Just silent. And then, 10 minutes later, still nothing. No footsteps. No knocking. No running. No noise at all. When Malihia checked the kitchen, her children were no longer there. Not inside. Not in the yard. Not anywhere in sight. The RCMP was contacted just before 10 a.m. Officers arrived at the home. They scanned the perimeter. They asked for clothing descriptions. Lily was likely wearing a pink sweater, pink pants, and pink boots. Jack was wearing blue boots with dinosaurs on them. Those details were shared immediately with the public. And the search grew rapidly. The day Lily and Jack disappeared, only 2 adults were in that home, their mother, Malihia Brooks Murray, and their stepfather, Daniel Martell. Daniel told investigators he was in the bedroom with Malihia. The kids were in and out of the room. He says Lily came in twice. Jack could be heard in the kitchen. Then silence. And then, the children were gone. That's what he told RCMP investigators. He also offered to take a polygraph. He says he passed. But in Canada, polygraph results aren't evidence. They're not admissible in court. They don't prove guilt. And they don't prove innocence. Daniel's cooperation was public. He spoke to media. He did interviews. He said he wanted the children found. But one detail stood out early on. When asked about May 1st, the day before the children disappeared, Daniel told authorities the kids were sick. Too unwell to go to school. Too sick to go out. But weeks later, the RCMP confirmed something that directly contradicted that claim. Lily and Jack were seen in public with family members on May 1st. The day Daniel said they were at home, unwell. The RCMP hasn't disclosed who the children were with. They haven't said where the sighting took place. They haven't confirmed whether Daniel or Malihia were present. But it was verified. A public sighting of both children. One day before they vanished. So why say they were sick? Why claim they were home, if they weren't? While the RCMP coordinated search teams, the home itself was a focus. Investigators returned several times. They spoke to both Daniel and Malihia. But what Malihia did next changed everything. On day 2 of the investigation, May 3rd, she left the property. Shortly after, she changed her relationship status on social media. She marked herself as single. And she blocked Daniel Martell. There was no joint statement. No unified front. According to Daniel, there had been an argument between the 2 families. What the argument was about has never been confirmed. But whatever happened, it pushed the children's mother to walk away from the home. And from the man she had been with up until that day. What kind of family dynamic falls apart in the middle of a crisis? And why, when 2 children are missing, would a parent publicly end a relationship, instead of focusing on the search? The deeper investigators went, the quieter the case became. No witnesses. No sound. No trace of the children's movement. But the forensic lab work continued. Devices from inside the home were collected. Tablets. Phones. Computers. Digital storage drives. The RCMP deployed their Digital Forensic Services Unit. And along with them, a little-known unit, the Truth Verification Section. It wasn't just a missing persons case anymore. It had become a digital investigation. According to internal RCMP sources, one of the devices flagged investigators. Some of the retrieved data, raised red flags. What kind of data? The RCMP hasn't released the specifics. They haven't said which device triggered concern. They haven't said who it belonged to. But according to journalists from Saltwire and Halifax today, some of those devices had been wiped. Full resets. Message histories missing. Cloud backups disabled. The RCMP hasn't confirmed this detail publicly. But sources close to the case say a digital recovery team is still working, quietly, to retrieve deleted content. By the second week of May, the search for Lilly and Jack was no longer just a local effort. It had become national. Online forums lit up. Communities mobilized. And the public began speaking. Loudly. By June 11th, the RCMP had received 488 individual tips. Each one catalogued, assessed, followed up. Some were vague. Some clearly false. But a handful stood out. One report placed the children in a vehicle, headed west. Another claimed they were seen at a gas station, more than 40 kilometers from their home, on the evening of May 1st. Not May 2nd. May 1st. The night before they were ever reported missing. In response to mounting speculation, RCMP launched a dashcam and surveillance video appeal. They asked the public to submit any footage recorded along Gairloch Road between April 28 at noon and May 2 at noon. Hundreds of hours of footage poured in. Dashcams. Doorbells. Trail cameras. Some of it was routine. But investigators confirmed that a portion was still under analysis. According to CBC sources close to the investigation, one clip contained an unconfirmed visual of two children walking, with an adult. The location? Not yet disclosed. The identities? Still unknown. The timestamp? Allegedly between 9 o'clock and 10 p.m. on May 1st. At the same time RCMP mentioned the digital analysis, they also reintroduced the $150,000 reward for information leading to Lilly and Jack. And that raised new questions. Why now? Why push the reward again after weeks of silence, unless there was a new angle to tip about? RCMP officials framed it as a standard reminder to the public. But the reward reappeared after new forensics were flagged, not before. That timing matters. We began this story with two missing children. A quiet morning. A rural home. And a family searching for answers. But now, behind closed doors, investigators are calling it something else entirely. This is no longer a standard missing persons file. Those aren't official words. They didn't come from a press conference or podium. They came from people working just outside the spotlight, retired officers, former RCMP specialists, and community detectives who've seen this before. There are no signs of forced entry. No sounds. No sightings. No ransom. No note. And yet, two children vanished. RCMP has not cleared any household member. And no one has been officially ruled out. As of July 13, 2025, there is still no named person of interest. But the RCMP's language has shifted. Their updates have grown shorter. More vague. Less about location, more about forensics. We don't have a body. We don't have a confirmed sighting. But what we do have is forensic smoke. A boot print, still unmatched. Data, still under analysis. Digital activity, still undisclosed. And where there's smoke, there's fire. The RCMP says no signs of abduction. But they haven't ruled it out. They say all avenues remain open. But they won't say which ones they're walking down. Because someone knows something. Someone sent messages before May 2nd. And someone hasn't been fully truthful. Was this a planned disappearance? A tragic accident? Or something more deliberate? No theory has been proven. But too many facts still don't line up. Why didn't the dogs pick up a trail? Why hasn't there been a single confirmed physical sighting, despite over 488 tips? Why the social media silence from those closest to the kids? And why has there been no arrest? These aren't questions for speculation. They're the core of an ongoing investigation. One that is still evolving. One that isn't over. Not even close. 2 children. A moment frozen in time. Lilly and Jack. Bright eyes. Small hands. Unfinished futures. Someone watching this video may know something. Or may know someone who does. If that's you, say something. Even if it seems small. Even if it doesn't feel important. Because the smallest truth can blow open the biggest lies. This family deserves clarity. These children deserve closure. And the public deserves answers. This story is not over. And the next breakthrough could come any day now. Until then, we wait. We watch. And we ask the question no one wants to answer. Where are Lilly and Jack?